Good morning and welcome to the 2020 annual Convocation virtually. My name is Brian Jersky, Provost and Senior Vice President here at Cal State Long Beach. If you're new to the campus, you may or may not have had the opportunity to walk the halls yet. Trust me, it is beautiful. We cannot wait for the day when we can all be reunited again. I truly miss seeing you, our students, or normal campus life for that matter. But for now, I welcome you virtually to the beach. We also have a few elected officials wanting to say hello to the campus community.
Hello, students, faculty, staff of California State University Long Beach. I'm Congressman Alan Lowenthal. I'm a former faculty member at California State University Long Beach and now a member of the United States Congress. I want to congratulate all the incoming students for taking the next step on your educational journey. I hope you have countless new opportunities and experiences to grow, to learn about yourselves and your community. And to the dedicated staff and faculty, thank you for your continued commitment to service and education. Go Beach!
Hi, everyone. This is State Senator Tom Umberg. Thanks for including me in your convocation, and a special thank you to your president, Conoley, and also to Provost Brian Jersky for organizing this. This year's different than any other year you'll ever see again. But with the leadership and the strength of those that are supporting you at Cal State Long Beach, it's going to be as productive a year as any other year. Thanks again. Go Beach.
Welcome back to the beach. This is Assemblymember Patrick O'Donnell talking to you from the state capitol, where I represent the 70th Assembly District, which certainly includes Long Beach State, my alma mater, where I graduated from twice with my bachelor's and my master's. And I just want to say welcome back to school. It's going to be a great year. Face the future by staying socially distant, but academically connected. Welcome back.
Thank you, Congressman Alan Lowenthal, State Senator Tom Umberg, and Assemblyman Patrick O'Donnell. We appreciate your ongoing commitment to serving our community and leadership, especially during this time. Mayor Robert Garcia also wanted to share a few words welcoming you all. Unfortunately, he lost his mother from COVID-19 a few weeks ago. In her honor, he has set up the Gaby Elena O'Donnell Scholarship to support students in healthcare at CSULB. Thank you, Mayor Garcia. I want to start off our morning with a video featuring the Photovoice project. Students participate in the project by submitting a photo and short written reflection that demonstrate the changes in their lives or that of their families and communities. This project gives students a voice and an opportunity to visually reflect on the changes in their lives. It also helps us catch a glimpse of what they wrestle within their reality with. We often think of college as one of the most transformative years of a student's life. They undergo a journey of self-discovery while achieving their career gains. They face mental, emotional, and financial challenges, but this year was more transformative than usual. This project allows us to understand how to best support students during this crisis. The Photovoice concept was created in the 1990s as an opportunity to give a voice to students amidst social, political, and economic upheaval. Under the directorship of Dr. Brian Trimble, Assistant Professor in the School of Art, and Dr. Beth Mankey, Interim Dean for Student Success, this remarkable project came to light on our campus.
The inspiration for the project really came from our desire to give students voice in the context of the pandemic. Their photographs and their narratives really tell the story about how the pandemic has affected them, their families, and their communities. The photographs and narratives are up on an online gallery at the Kleefeld Art Museum. And then we also are going to be coding them with a group of students with the hope of being able to communicate our findings to faculty across the campus so that we can better learn about, how do we resource and help students during times of crisis.
We just thought it would be a really good thing, especially at this time when students really didn't have a voice in this conversation that was going on locally, nationally, on the campus, that it was really important for them to have an opportunity to talk about how this pandemic is affecting their lives. And we hope that it can have an impact in the field when it comes to working with college students during these kind of national crises.
The COVID changed my life because I lost my job at the beginning of March, and school had also stopped in-person classes, so I was kind of lost. And I took up gardening. Plants just don't grow from anything, they have to have a starting point. It's a slow process, for propagating them. And it's also a slow process for me figuring out myself. I needed to have a starting point as well. And I think COVID is unfortunate, but it did help me grow internally.
My life is crowded. I live in a very small apartment, and that picture you saw is literally my space, which is everybody else's space. It just feels like the world's out of control, because no longer can you predict what time you're gonna wake up, where you have to be, like suddenly that's not there. And the part I struggled with was I had to put in the effort to implement a schedule where I felt like I was in control, or I felt like I had something to look forward to.
I'm in my room and I start feeling really dizzy, and eventually I collapse, and my whole my right side, my right arm, my right leg, they went numb. I was like, I'm having a stroke and I'm going to die. But thankfully it turned out not to be that. I was having a very severe panic attack or anxiety attack. It messed with my sense of self-identity. My image of a courageous man is someone who goes into battle with no fear and no regard to death whatsoever. What courage is, it's confronting a fear, or doing the right thing in the face of fear. So that fear is a necessary part of courage. You cannot be courageous without there being fear. Being a man is much more than bringing home a paycheck. Being a man is much more than, keeping it all in. Because, I tried keeping it all in and it felt like I was dying. If I have to take a stroll on the beach with my girlfriend, if I have to do watercoloring and, be a little abstract in my art, then okay, I'll do that. And I can still, figure out a way to provide for my girlfriend. I can still figure out a way to be a good boyfriend, to be a good brother to my little brother and sister, to be a good son to my mom.
So I submitted a picture of an empty stand of tomato sauce. Everyone had their grocery cart filled to the brim. And I just am baffled that it looks like people are hoarding. We as a society do not think about the others. We do not think about the collective. It broke my heart that we lost compassion for others. If at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a fully grown adult with her own car couldn't make it into the store to get tomato sauce and beans and rice, what about the parents who were working until 7 or 8 and had multiple children? What did they look at when they went into the grocery store? I definitely think my picture represents how we need to think more about the collective, how our actions impact our communities around us, and that we need to believe that it's not just about individuality, but it's about community. And when we think about community, we can get through this together. And that's how we're going to make it out of this pandemic.
Wasn't that amazing? I want to thank Beth, Brian, and mostly our students for all the inspiring photos and reflections. You should know that your voices are really precious. At this point, I want to take a moment and thank all our students, faculty, and staff who are the sole reason for our successful pivot this past spring. I continue to be overwhelmed by everyone's ability to think outside the box and in some cases provide revolutionary solutions, ideas, and programs to counter what COVID-19 has taken away. This maverick spirit, by many, is a true testament to all that we have and will accomplish together. Thank you for being passionate world changers who dedicate themselves to the CSULB community. I would like to take a moment to recognize some of you. Continuing to lead CSULB in our educational missions, as well as maintaining extraordinary leadership in ever-changing times, are our academic deans. Through their combined talent and dedication to our students, they have cultivated a wonderful educational environment for our students. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Robin Barger as the next Dean of the College of the Arts, COTA. With an extensive background of working at universities, Dr. Barger has a proven track record of leadership skills and strategic thinking. He is also an accomplished musician who understands technical and creative artistry. These collective assets make him the ideal candidate to create a clear direction and vision that will lead the college into the future. Next, I would like to recognize our frontline associate deans, who must carry out all the changes that occur in their colleges, of which, of course, there have been too many to mention. Also on the key list, our department chairs, who right now have one of the most challenging jobs on our campus. They've had to translate the rules and requirements for our new students. New to campus this year is Dr. Beth Leeson, our new Vice President for Student Affairs. She brings 14 years of experience from our sister campus, Sacramento State, where she advocated for student access, support, and success. She's passionate about making higher education more equitable for our students, and we are all so excited to have her here as part of the team. Dr. Shariq Ahmed will be joining us this year as the new Associate Vice President for Academic Technology Services. As we begin the fall semester in a largely alternate modality, we're so excited to welcome someone as innovative and experienced as Dr. Ahmed for this critical role. We look forward to his expertise as we implement greater online academic resources in our new formats. We also welcome Ms. Donna Green in a new role as the Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Services. She's a familiar face on campus and brings a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Under her leadership, she's improved student communication, academic planning, and institution-wide communication, all of which have become even more important than usual. Dr. Paul Henderson is now serving as the Executive Director of the University Academic Advisement and California Promise. He oversees the University Center for Undergraduate Advising, UCUA, the Bickerstaff Academic Center for Student Athlete Services, and Prerequisite Advising Support Services. Also, in a newly appointed position, Dr. Angela Locks has been selected as the Executive Director for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Academic Affairs. She's focusing on engagement, equity, and developing an inclusion portfolio for the Division of Academic Affairs, and provides leadership for the President's Commissions on Inclusive Excellence, Status of Women, and Sustainability, as well as our campus climate research efforts. We're excited to welcome Dr. Charlene Say as the new Director of Institutional Assessment, DIA. Additionally, Dr. John Hamilton from Student Affairs and Dr. Anna Ortiz from the College of Education have accepted the role of co-chairs on the President's newly renamed Commission on Equity and Change. We also welcome outstanding student government leaders, with ASI President Omar Prudencio Gonzalez at the helm alongside his entire executive team. Thank you all for your dedication to our campus and students in this unprecedented time. In addition, I'd like to recognize the following campus leaders: Tim Whitaker, Steward of the State Employees Trade Council; Dora Apodaca, Chief Steward of Academic Professionals of California, Deborah Ham and Gary Heitreck, co-presidents of the California Faculty Association, Jennifer Moran, President, California State University Employees Union, Christopher Brown, Statewide University Police Association, Kristin Bonetati, CSULB Staff Council President, Kurt Brower, President of CSULB Alumni, and Jessica Pandya, Chair of the Academic Senate. On behalf of the university, I offer my thanks to each of you for your commitment to the success of our students and this campus. Each year, we carefully select a small number of exceptional students to be admitted to CSULB as recipients of the President's Scholarship. This scholarship program is highly visible in the state of California and the nation. Normally, I would have had them all stand to be recognized, but this year is different. So virtually, I acknowledge this special group of amazing students, and I honor you for your high-achieving success. We look forward to making you a part of the Beach family. Before I move on, let me say how grateful the university is to our Alumni Association, President's Associates, individual donors, and the Division of Student Affairs for their invaluable support of the President's Scholarships program. The success of this mission would not be possible without you. Welcome, scholars, and congratulations to you, your parents, and families. I wish you and all our students success at Cal State Long Beach. I recently read my convocation speech from last year. I talked about all the changes then that were happening in our country. I reflected on some highlights and talked about some areas we wanted to see changes in. I look back at that time and think how we were all blissfully unaware of what was to come. We literally had no idea. Doesn't that time seem like a lifetime ago? I talked about the wild ride we were on, but that time was more like a ripple in the ocean compared to the tsunami that has gripped our world and our nation. I am sure each one of you has a story, a struggle, or an unmeasurable challenge that this time has presented, and this has become our common bond. From our current political leadership in Washington, pandemic effects worldwide, to the Black Lives Matter movement, protecting and defending our DACA and international students, all of these have grieved me greatly and left me seriously pondering our nation's future. Several of these issues have kept me up at night. Where do we go from here? There truly are no easy answers, but we must take from our collective wisdom to move forward. Here are a few uncomfortable questions we all need to explore. Are we too comfortable with our lack of diversity on our campus? If so, what are we individually and collectively doing to solve it? Have we woven true diversity throughout every fiber of our campus? Are we listening, reflecting? Most importantly, are we making changes that are sustainable? Are we afraid to speak the truth? Are we afraid of honest discussions? Do we know how to conduct honest discussions? Are we systematically breaking down barriers? We need to be bold and not afraid to make mistakes. I know change is uncomfortable simply because there is risk involved. But with high risk, there is also the hope of high reward. These changes I hope to make with you are for the ones who are suffering from systematic and racial injustices. We must first become uncomfortable in order to build a better path for the ones that need us to do better. It's very easy to point fingers at others as the problem, but at the very least, we are each responsible for the change that starts with us and our sphere of influence. This is where we need to put our hope and efforts. These changes are not just bringing us back to being comfortable or checking off the box that we've done our activism for the day. Real change involves digging deep into taboo topics, having difficult discussions, and creating change without turning to quick cosmetic fixes. When this is done right, it has the potential to alter the landscape to benefit the ones who need it. For this to become reality, each of us needs to hold up a mirror to what we do right, what we can change, and what we need to eliminate. President Conoley, administrators, faculty, staff, and students have asked many to take a seat at the table. We have opened our perspectives to include their realities. We are not asking for solutions, but honesty. I am thankful and humbled by everyone's transparency, boldness, and vulnerability. I know you represent so many more voices, and I hear you. I don't have all the answers yet, but I am committed to doing what we can to make this right. I am sure by now that the coronavirus is permanently etched into everyone's collective consciousness. Any words to describe this time simply fall short. So much has been lost, but not all is dire. Some have taken the seemingly insurmountable obstacle and turned it into an opportunity. Students, faculty, and staff have become our shining beacons of hope. Here is how our campus was able to switch gears. In March, when California first received stay-at-home orders in response to the pandemic, we had exactly 1 week to figure out how to switch all classes to remote instruction. This was especially challenging since, as you know, prior to that, only 2 to 3% of our courses were taught fully or partially online. Now, a majority are. Faculty, ATS, and IT carried much of the burden in finding solutions. All did a magnificent job in such an extremely short amount of time. Nearly overnight, the entire campus pivoted our focus from course conversions, in-person faculty consultations, active learning, classroom support, and paper-based faculty evaluations to something never heard of before, AMI, or Alternative Mode of Instruction. What takes weeks, months, or years to complete, we thought, our campus did in a week. ATS helped activate and open communication lines between faculty and students through Beachboard courses. They also quickly produced Zoom course materials, trained those who were interested on how to record lectures, and retooled how to manage online assignments and assessments. A Keep Teaching and Learning chatbot was created so faculty and students could find quick answers after hours. Before March 11th, 2020, our campus averaged 9,789 Zoom meeting minutes for any given day of the week. From March 11th to April 2nd, our average Zoom meeting minutes jumped to 275,536 for any given day. For those paying attention, that's a 2,715% increase, although no doubt many of you have already figured that out. Over 870 faculty attended webinars, and the Keep Teaching and Learning website received over 4,000 visits between March the 16th and April 17th. Researchers and scholars also had to completely overhaul their efforts across campus. ORSP offered guidelines for a phased approach for scholarly activities on campus so that we were following all federal, state, and local government health guidelines. PIs and project staff developed inventive and creative ways of continuing their projects and research given the current situation. What mattered most was to all research teams complying with all measures while enabling research to move forward. All this was done while balancing the stay-at-home order, regulations, and campus oversight. So how are we doing? With all the effects of the last few months, we were left to wonder and wait as key metrics identified how CSULB was going to be impacted. Was our graduation rate going to be affected, since students were forced to finish in alternate methods and face uncertainty? Would our new student numbers drop, since the state and country's economic numbers revealed a recession? As far as the student population goes, last fall we had 38,076 students for total enrollment. This fall, we're planning for close to 39,000, a historic high. Joining our beach family will be 5,000 first-year students, 5,100 transfer students, and over 1,400 graduate students. These students will of course be standouts, simply because they're willing to start on a brand new campus in an alternate modality. We appreciate your trust and faith in our community, and we welcome you. This year, we also graduated 9,089 undergraduates and 1,914 graduates, for a historic total of 11,003. This again was a high for the campus. The four-year graduation rate is expected to surpass last year's 33.9 rate to a new high of around 37%. This rather large jump is significant, since it means we achieved this for students even in the midst of a pandemic. That and many others are points of pride for us. CSULB remains one of the top 10 most applied to schools in the country, with almost 70,000 freshman applicants. Cal State Long Beach overall received over 102,000 applications this past year. In 2019, US News & World Report ranked Long Beach as the third best public college in the Western United States. And in 2019, Forbes ranked CSU Long Beach one of America's best value colleges for its low tuition, quality of education, graduate earnings, and low levels of student debt. According to Diverse Issues in Higher Ed, CSULB ranks number 3 in producing underrepresented minority graduates. Also, we're ranked by Money.com as one of the top 20 best colleges in the country, based on the value we provide students and our affordability. We're also a leader in the number of degrees awarded to Hispanic students, according to the magazine Hispanic Outlook on Education. We're making an impact, many times to the very students who need it the most. This is positive news for the region, state, and country. Your individual and collective success has produced these campus-wide points of pride. During these difficult times, I know all of you have had to not only step up, but very often step out to do teaching, working, or connecting with others in a new virtual way. All of this does positively affect our students, and for this you have my deepest appreciation. Where are we going? What has been happening since the pandemic? How will the campus look in the future? The pandemic has allowed us the opportunity to turn some of our dreams into reality. Essentially, our Beach 2030 plans have turned into Beach 2020. Several ideas that were mere concepts formed into a foreseeable future and were quickly adopted into our lived reality. We solidified them into workable action items. Last year, I spoke of our Western Association of Schools and Colleges, WASC, reaccreditation that was planning an on-campus visit this October. We had hoped to get a chance to evaluate and show off how effective we have been towards promoting student success. This past semester, we were, quite frankly, uncertain how this was going to work. This past spring, WASC began conducting all its accreditation visits remotely. Our visit will therefore follow suit when we will welcome WASC to our campus this fall. It's going to be radically different, since we must take what we have been working diligently on for the past 2 years and convert it all to a remote visit. All the documents reflecting CSULB's mission and vision have been created, and we're excited to discuss our findings with the visiting WASC team and our campus. They're going to meet specific campus members, and we'll hold an open forum to discuss aspects of our campus that make it the university it is today. Keep your eyes out for more details to come. The big question on my mind, as I'm sure it is in all of yours, is the future repopulation of our campus. I want to assure you, firstly, that we make all our decisions based on facts, scientific information, and the guidance of health professionals. We are working hard and doing our utmost to create the best plan for all of us. Sometimes it might seem that we are not taking everything into account, but we're all doing what we can in the face of a torrent of competing priorities. While we can do so much on our campus, we encourage everyone to play your part in keeping us safe by practicing safe distancing and wearing masks. This will all help us return to campus sooner. It is important to know that for the fall semester, any courses that are currently already in an alternate modality will remain that way for the remainder of the semester. In-person classes may transition to an alternative format based on the guidance of health professionals and local and state regulations. I know we're all working hard to create the best education that's possible for our students, and I again thank our incredible faculty and staff for your flexibility and cooperation in achieving our shared goal. Final thoughts. In closing, I wanted to share with you a personal story of hope, courage, and resilience from this past spring. Takara, a recent 4-year communications graduate who was an intern for the City of Long Beach census efforts, had her last year of college completely sidelined, along with the rest of the world, with the possibility of losing her internship and the credit that goes along with it. The City of Long Beach and Takara herself came up with a solution to solve these multiple problems. Takara was originally brought on as a volunteer and event support intern. When COVID-19 hit, she had to pivot to monitoring census coverage on social media. Instead of giving up, Takara took initiative and developed content for social media posts. Her social media work of identifying hard-to-count sections of specific Long Beach communities helped determine what neighborhoods still needed census information. This research she developed by herself was so strong that it was recognized by the city and used in their weekly reports. This summer, she had the good news that her internship has been extended and she's become a key member of the City of Long Beach's online census work. Takara adds, "My internship taught me that I have to roll with the punches. Things can switch at the drop of a dime." She not only switched gears quickly, she found a solution that aided in the census efforts, saved her internship, reached hard-to-count areas, and benefited our city, all online. I love hearing stories of how many have turned the massive dilemma COVID-19 has presented to us and have, through their ingenuity and determination, figured out a way to continue the key work we do in an alternative modality. These stories do fuel my soul and present to me much-needed hope. We do have much to be thankful and proud of. Sometimes these single lights can illuminate the darkest of nights. I also appreciate this time that we can come together as a campus community to reconnect virtually and recharge as we start the new year. When we are back to normal, I believe this time will have given us all an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and the university. And we do have something we can all be proud of. Thank you for all that you do and continue to do to educate, inspire, and advocate for the next generation of students. I remain thankful for our unique campus that shines its light over all our communities. We are one beach and truly a family. Next, I have the pleasure of introducing Jessica Pandya. She's just finished her first year as Academic Senate Chair in quite a historic time. Her true leadership quickly emerged when she became a key ally in assessing situations and moving forward with quick and collective decisions. Given how rapidly situations changed, I appreciated how hard she worked to lead the Academic Senate with her calm and reassuring demeanor. I'm forever grateful for her friendship and collaborative spirit. We all had to make tough decisions and will continue to do so. Her commitment to shared governance has been invaluable. When she's not saving the world, she's the former chair of the Liberal Studies Department, a professor in the departments of Teacher Education and Liberal Studies, a celebrated novelist, researcher, and educator. I know our campus has benefited from her commitment to us, but also to our students. Please join me in welcoming Jessica.
Hello, it's my great pleasure to speak to you in this strange new convocation format. I'm the chair of our Academic Senate, our shared governance body on campus. I'd first like to acknowledge that CSULB is located on the ancestral site of Povungna. We're on the land of the Tongva, Gabrieleño, and the Ahashimen-Waneño nations who have lived and continue to live here. I recognize the Tongva and Ahashimen nations and their spiritual connection as the first stewards and the traditional caretakers of this land. My message today is a welcome to faculty, staff, and students, and it's also a snapshot of what our Academic Senate traditionally does and what we hope to accomplish in the coming year. Last year, we focused on what we called the 3 C's: community, communication, compassion. We passed policies like the one defining online and hybrid instruction, and resolutions like the one regarding gender-inclusive language for campus policies. We planned events to bring the community together and talk about current issues. However, our earlier priorities are now filtered through 2 lenses: the coronavirus crisis and worldwide protests against anti-Blackness and the systems that perpetuate it. These crises are showing us the ways that deep structural racism is embedded in our institutions, even in our home institution, Cal State Long Beach, where we strive for inclusive excellence. In relation to COVID-19, we transitioned to alternative modes of instruction back in March, and of course, we're using those modes of instruction for most classes this fall. The change has brought significant challenges for all of the members of our campus community. Faculty have been attending workshops all summer to help them prepare to teach in new ways, and though it's not preferred for many of us, it's the best we can do under the circumstances. The Senate has been co-hosting open forums on the COVID crisis with the Provost and other campus leaders to keep the information flowing. We're all drawing on all of the compassion we have as we offer our excellent teaching and our comprehensive student support services, and as we prepare to someday return to our much-loved campus. The second lens I mentioned is the discussions about anti-Blackness that have been occurring across the U.S. in the last few weeks. In terms of this important topic, over this extraordinary summer, the Academic Senate Executive Committee has consulted widely with faculty and staff affinity groups, with student leadership, and with administrators. We're a shared governance body, so that's what we do. From those discussions, we've developed a list of things we're doing to address structural inequities. I'm going to share a few of our plans that will require us to learn things we didn't even know we needed to know, and to change some of our traditional ways of operating that have marginalized and excluded people of color. Most importantly, in spring 2021, the Senate will develop a diversity action plan for future years' work based on the results of the Campus Climate Survey. This plan will outline what changes we as a Senate can make to reshape our institution to be more inclusive, and it'll have clear goals and accountability measures. We're also going to start with ourselves. For most of its existence, the Academic Senate has been led by white professors, and the Senate at CSULB has been a predominantly white institution. The Executive Committee is going to participate in trainings to help us better understand the systemic inequities of our own institution. The Senate's annual retreat is one of the few events at which a cross-section of the campus gets together to talk in depth. For our retreat this October, we'll engage with each other on the topic of working together for racial justice. We've invited student government leaders to be a part of this retreat, as they are and represent the students who have direct insight into the issues at hand. On the policy front, we're planning to revise our definitions of scholarship and creative activities to better value the academic scholarship of Black, Indigenous, and other faculty of color. We'll revise service definitions to include the work of supporting affinity groups on and off campus so that we can account for the cultural taxation of faculty of color. We'll examine the roles of the department chairs and deans in ensuring fair and unbiased reviews and require implicit bias training for tenure and promotion committee members. We'll create a hiring policy so that we can institutionalize more equitable ways of hiring and so that we can hold ourselves accountable for changes. In a different arena, we're well positioned to influence strategic admissions decisions, and we aim to use existing councils to interrogate and remedy inequities in Black student access and retention at CSULB. Students have made specific requests to us about curriculum. We'll know more about the system-wide ethnic studies graduation requirement soon, about ways to support research conducted by Black students, and about defunding, reimagining, or restructuring our campus police. We're going to continue to work with and in support of students on these and the other issues they bring to us. I want to thank a host of people, including the Senate Executive Committee members who've worked tirelessly all summer, my colleagues from the Black faculty and staff community and the Latinx Faculty and Staff Association who consulted on our plans and offered critical commentary, President Conoley and Provost Jersky who've been very supportive of our efforts, and the ASI and Black student leaders who remind me of what we're here to do and who we're doing it for. Academic Senate meetings are open to the public, and you can find our agendas and other information on our website. You're welcome to come on by, join one of our upcoming open forums, or send me an email with your concerns and ideas. As I close, I want to thank you for doing the best you as a campus community member can to help yourself and your community survive this pandemic, and make radical structural changes to make our institution a place where students, faculty, staff, and administrators of color can learn and thrive. Throughout the year, if you see structural challenges and barriers that detract from racial justice on campus, please let us know about them so we can work to change them together. Thank you for your time today, and go Beach.
Another key support system on our campus is, of course, our staff. Over the past few months, many have had to figure out alternate ways to do the work our campus needs, and in new and creative ways. Staff Council President Kristin Bonetati is no different. She works in the 49er shops as their apparel and gifts manager and has been on our campus for 19 years. This past spring, the campus bookstore had to also move to online sales, and Kristin was challenged to still help students purchase and return what they needed when going into the store was not possible. She figured out ways to serve our university and maintain customer service in a new way. She represents the maverick spirit many of the staff possess. Please welcome Kristin.
Hello, my name is Kristin Bonetati, and I'm the Staff Council Chair this year. Thank you so much for joining us for Convocation 2020. It's been a challenging year so far. In the same breath of asking everyone to come together, we're saying, but stay 6 feet apart. We are working to learn about each other and each other's experiences, but at the same time, our faces are masked, and it's difficult to read expressions. This coming year will continue to be anything but routine, and there are a lot of things we won't have. We will not pass by friends on campus and have a quick hug or a friendly handshake. We won't have those water cooler talks and catch up on Netflix binging. We won't be sitting in the stands cheering our teams. And we won't have tater tots with cheese sauce and bacon at the Nugget. But we also won't be circling the parking lot for 35 minutes for a parking space. What we will have is a loyal and dedicated campus staff who have modified their workspaces. They've accommodated new hours. They've learned new technology on the fly. They've figured out how to balance this new work and home life, all working together to make sure our students receive the best possible education. We are all here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to educate and support our Cal State Long Beach students. Our CSULB staff is extraordinary, and we will continue to rise to the occasion. Today, I wanted to spotlight a few of our terrific staff who have won the CSULB Staff Council Outstanding Staff Member of the Year Award these last 5 years. This award goes above and beyond service on the job. It honors CSULB staff members who have made significant and long-term contributions of their time and their talents. These individuals have done so to support university staff campus-wide and also faculty and students for the betterment of the campus community. Those who win this award are not usually in the limelight and are instead quietly working hard and volunteering to make our campus a better place. Staff Council has been giving out this award for the last 27 years, but I don't have that much time allotted to speak today. Here are the winners from the last 5 years. Outstanding Staff Member 2016, Diane Graham, Biological Sciences. Diane Graham, our Outstanding Staff Member for 2016, is a microbiology instructional support technician in the Department of Biological Sciences, College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Diane has worked on campus for over 28 years and received her degree from Cal State Long Beach as well. She volunteers tirelessly for Staff Council and is always the first to assist with events that support staff and the campus community. Diane's work with the annual Cherishing the Children toy drive and holiday party for foster children has been instrumental in making thousands of children over the years have a happy holiday. Next up, Outstanding Staff Member 2017, Wendy Lopez from Human Development. An alumna of CSULB, Wendy has worked in the College of Liberal Arts since 1999 in numerous positions and for HDEV since 2007. Her letter of recommendation said it was her combination of congeniality and efficiency, collaboration and cooperation that makes her a strong asset for the department and the university. Wendy has served as a mentor to new CLA staff members. She also volunteers for Staff Council and is assisted with numerous special events that support CSULB staff and the campus community. Next, Outstanding Staff Member 2018, Jennifer Moran, URD College Development, College of the Arts. Jennifer is the Development Coordinator for University Development, and since joining CSULB in 2006, has seized every opportunity to make a positive impact for students and staff members. She is a past chair and currently an active member of the CSULB Staff Council, a member of the statewide board of directors, and the president and chief steward of the CSUEU Beach Chapter 315 for the city of Long Beach. Next, Outstanding Staff Member 2019, Susan Suji, History. Susan joined the CSULB family in 2011 and quickly became a fixture in the Department of History and the campus community. She is the chair of the Staff Council Staff Development Committee and a member of the Staff Council Special Events Committee and Academic Senate Campus Climate Committee. She is also an accomplished singer. She's performed regularly with 2 choirs and has performed in venues such as Carnegie Hall, Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and Walt Disney Concert Hall. And this year, Outstanding Staff Member 2020, Pedro Castro, College of the Arts Administration. Pedro was recommended due to his work ethic, determination, team spirit, adaptability to change, decision-making, and his ultimate can-do attitude. Besides working in the Dean's office at the College of the Arts, he serves on Staff Council and the CLGBTIQ plus CC Committee. He is a Safe Zone and AB 540 ally of our university and LA County. Pedro has also been our beloved elf at the Cherishing the Children holiday party. Congratulations to these 5 exceptional staff members, and to view the rest of the winners dating back to 1993, please visit our Staff Council website. There isn't enough time to talk about every CSULB staff member who works tirelessly, day in and day out, to make our campus run smoothly. Just please know that you are all appreciated so much. There will be a lot of unknowns this semester, and we will all need to roll with the punches. Every week, and sometimes every day, we will need to change and adapt to whatever comes our way. In this coming year, please make sure to reach out for support when you need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Wear your mask and stay 6 feet away from each other. And remember that you're a part of something special, and that's the Cal State Long Beach family. Go Beach!
Every year, I have the pleasure of meeting monthly with each ASI president. All have been equally impressive and all incredibly talented. This year is no exception. I've had the privilege of interacting and interviewing our newest ASI president, Omar Prudencio Gonzalez. I met him when he applied for and was accepted into the coveted Panetta internship program in Washington, D.C. He's a visionary, laser-focused on key issues, and very personable. With a passion for welcoming new and returning students to the beach, Omar has creatively figured out ways to make everyone feel welcome. He'll represent the student body during this historic time very well. He's doing all of this while taking summer school. He's a fourth-year political science major with a concentration in law and public policy, and is minoring in sociology. As a first-generation college student, he wants to serve all students on our campus, and his determination, talent, and drive will no doubt make his leadership goals a reality. Please give a warm welcome to Omar.
Hey, Long Beach State, President Conoley and Provost Jersky, thank you for the warm introduction and for inviting me to join you virtually at our 2020 Convocation. As an ASI, we're grateful to have the opportunity to study at the site of Pavuanga, and we find it so important to honor the Tongva peoples that came before us and learn from their lessons. It's unfortunate that a day has not gone by recently where I turn on the news and look at social media, and what I see makes me worrisome about the future of this country. Over the last few months, we have been navigating a world filled with uncertainty. The pandemic has taken the lives of far too many, and sustained failure by our national leadership causes this virus to continue to pose a major threat to our way of life. Just like we've seen in our past, marginalized folks and people of color have been hit the worst. Our Black community continues to live in fear as they are actively being persecuted and killed due to systemic racism and ingrained rot bigotry. Let me reaffirm, your student leadership believes that Black lives matter, and we stand in solidarity with you. It is at this same time that we have witnessed several other communities within our beach family come under attack. Our Asian American community has endured a rise in hate crimes due to xenophobia. Our international and AB 540 undocumented scholars were used as a political bargaining chip for those in power, and still find themselves uneasy and uncertain about their futures. It is clear that we find ourselves at the epicenter of history, and we must challenge ourselves to join together, to put extra effort into working together, to heal the many wounds that have been inflicted on our family. And asking for this extra effort, I recognize that it is also a difficult time for you all, juggling a new learning or staff environment, while also managing what you have at home. I want to take a moment to say thank you for all of your sacrifices in serving, guiding, and empowering our scholars toward a better quality of life through education. Thank you all so much for giving so much for so little. However, as the issues I just outlined persist, there's so much yet to do. And when I think about what that extra effort looks like, I think of the effort that so many of you put in my experience already, and just spreading that more. As Provost Jersky mentioned, I am a first-generation college scholar, and this is all completely new to my family, and we find ourselves trying to navigate so much. I am a Latino, born and raised in South Los Angeles, and a proud son of immigrants from Mexico and El Salvador. And at times I find it hard to believe that I'm even here. From having to translate my own parent-teacher conferences as a kid, to being assaulted for being at the wrong place at the wrong time due to the violence that reaps the streets of LA, to almost getting kicked out of the university my first year for not passing remedial math classes, to what I eventually learned stemmed from a learning disability. I got lucky. I, the son of a proud gardener, get to stand before you. But unfortunately, not everyone does. Luckily, I had summer bridge and DOP. Admittedly, before them, I was a bit lost and anxious about my future in college, and seriously concerned about my ability to succeed, which for me meant a lot more than just getting a degree. It meant earning new opportunities for my entire family. But thanks to mentors that I gained here at Long Beach, I gained access to student organizations, to BMAC, to CAPS, as I too, at times like many of you, struggle with mental health, and ultimately to a place I felt connected to, because my success was their success, and we're all in this together. And that is something that we completely believe at ASI. Our top priority during this time is to ensure our continued delivery of quality virtual programming and services. I understand that many of our student scholars watching today may feel uneasy about the fall. Please know I see you, I hear you, and I want to reassure you that my team and I will uphold our commitment to serving you. Our chief goal this year is to internally reevaluate ASI policies to ensure that we exhibit equitable practices through a new ASI equity plan that will soon be presented. We will continue our efforts on ensuring that scholars from marginalized communities have access to resources to surpass barriers in higher education. We aim to lead a robust review of advising centers to improve the student advising experience, and we currently are in the process of creating a new student organization that would organize and unify major organizations and clubs to enhance relationships and provide guidance to ASI. And finally, this year, our administration will be guided by the central theme of mental health. We recognize that this is an emerging issue that requires more resources and attention. It's especially important right now. So we want to use our platforms to elevate the conversation as we work towards a safe, welcoming, and healthier beach. My fellow Long Beach State family, I am Omar Prudencio Gonzalez. I stand before you humbled, being able to join arms with you to face the task before us. I'm serving as this year's ASI president, an obligation that I do not take lightly. I'm not a servant of a select few, but one who is indebted to all of you, our student scholars. A trust and confidence that has been bestowed upon me to help uphold my allegiance in keeping students first. No pandemic, no racial injustice, and oppressive division from our failed national leadership can prevent us from rejoicing together as a beach family, to rise above the storm of uncertainty before us, regardless of race, ability, status, who you love, or spiritual power that you worship in life-creating conviction. Let us rejoice in our cornerstone of demonstrating to folks that here at Long Beach State, we don't fight with each other, but we fight for each other and embrace global perspectives. The journey ahead of us is not an easy one, but I'm calling on all of us to reflect on ourselves, to ensure that we do all in our power to remove barriers to higher education, while also checking our own privileges to be kinder people. I'm confident in our ability to prosper. Thank you, and as always, go Beach.
What a time to be a leader on a university campus. Every day, our campus must incorporate several changes that come from local and state officials. Faculty, staff, and students all want and deserve answers to detailed questions that personally affect them. The sheer amount of time, effort, and determination a university president is forced to have when making key ongoing daily decisions would overwhelm most. But this is not the case with our very own university leader. She has the right amount of resolve and intellect to handle the Herculean challenge of leading our campus during a pandemic, social and racial injustice issues, and a government that makes it near impossible. But she does it every day. She does the task with compassion, understanding, wisdom, and intellect while creating an inclusive environment for all. She listens and leans into issues with a passion for doing what is right for our students, campus, and community. I have never been prouder to work alongside our president, Dr. Jane Close Conoley. Please welcome President Conoley.
I read an article a few months ago that called our passage through the coronavirus pandemic Our Time in History. Comparisons to disruptions caused by world wars, other plagues, social justice and civil rights action, and previous economic collapses are easy to conjure, and the phrase that this is our time in history has stayed with me. Since March, I've continued to provide regular updates about the pandemic, social justice, racism, and our budget situation, and I'll continue to do so. However, for me, another one of our important times in history began 2 years ago, when I, with many others across our campus and community, began focusing on our future. Throughout, but particularly now, my inspiration has been how we ready ourselves to be creators of the university's future, rather than victims of relentless change that surrounds us always. Today, as I review what we debated, wrote, rewrote, and made plans to do through Beach 2030, I'm struck by how prescient we were. We committed to cultivating resilience. We accepted responsibility for the common good. We pledged to be a student-ready university. We proudly stated that teaching and learning are at the center of who we are. We proclaimed that our diversity is the source of our strength. As I look at this most recent leg of our journey since February, our time in history, I see that we were amazingly resilient in pivoting from a primarily in-person learning environment to an entirely and still mostly remote reality. This not only illustrated resilience, but proved the point that we are a compassionate and student-ready university. Our students, faculty, and staff could not safely be on our campus, but yet we persisted in carrying out what we do best, transformational teaching and learning. Gail Bezier, a faculty member in CODA, described her experience with remote teaching as a journey that started, and I quote, as an excess of lemons to some fabulous lemonade. She and many others like her focused their creative talents on making their remote teaching highly engaging and effective for their students. Ted Stankiewicz, a faculty member in CNSM, has created a digital library collection from his Mammal Lab so that remote students can interact with this astonishing collection virtually. And I know there are many others who embrace the challenge. Teaching and learning is at the center of what we do. The methods of teaching are secondary to the mission of teaching. During this time, faculty won awards and published papers, and students received state and national recognition in a number of areas. Research teams attracted national grants. While everything seemed topsy-turvy, we still persisted in doing the work that characterizes a great university. For example, the College of Education was chosen to lead a $3 million effort to eradicate equity gaps that have characterized U.S. education forever. And while many institutions are facing decreased enrollments, we are still among the most applied to in the nation and are on track for a record enrollment above 39,000 students. I'm pleased beyond mere words that we're slogging through our time in history with such exquisite style. But what's next? What are we doing to achieve the outcomes of our extensive Beach 2030 planning work and do it with a special lens on equity and racial justice? One commonality across many divisions and colleges was a desire to build more partnerships, especially to support the public good. Our entire leadership team will now be engaged in launching a Beach Grand Challenge infrastructure designed to leverage our intellectual capital to benefit our community and serve as a catalyst in LA and Orange counties. We will link education and industry by embedding in the Beach Grand Challenge faculty and student research, applied learning and internships, incentives for faculty interdisciplinary engagement, and innovative on and off-campus partnerships. We'll also be tracking impacts on the local community. We will also strengthen partnerships and collaborations with Long Beach Unified School District, LBCC, the City of Long Beach, and the Port of Long Beach, and other public and private entities to enhance student access to internships, share expertise and resources to address housing, transportation, land use, equity, and sustainability challenges. And we are also reviewing purchasing agreements to identify potential value-added purchasing opportunities to continue to operate efficiently. Last year, I also gave voice to our need to have a growth strategy to buffer our finances from dips in state general funds. State support will always be the vital cornerstone of our work, but recent and historical realities illustrate why we must grow revenue streams by doing what we do best, teaching and learning. Now more than ever, Californians need to finish degrees and upskill their repertoires so as to move into professional positions that secure a thriving lifestyle. This aligns with increasing the size of our graduate programs, some undergraduate programs, and diversifying and expanding our portfolio of curricular offerings non-stateside to address the needs and strengths of our extended community of learners and the innovation force needs of our region. I also know that the faculty roles and staff positions must evolve to offer support for an ever more diverse student body. I want us to have opportunities for faculty to focus on research, practice, teaching, and clinical work, and be rewarded for rigorous excellence in those areas. Increased diversity in how we deliver education will be the only way we can be student ready as the average age and life circumstances of our students continue to evolve. We can't be just for 18 to 24-year-olds with no families, or we'll be doomed. The Provost has already started serious discussions with the Academic Senate to advance these ideas, and our Human Resources Department has developed and will continue to evolve a much more robust career advancement educational process for other staff. Staff who desire advancement at the university should see as clear a path to advancement as do faculty members. Our Beach 2030 deliberations often surface the imperative that we build environments for all members of our community that are transparent, compassionate, creative, and innovative. Action planning in this vital goal begins with each of us choosing behaviors that match these values, and also includes continual educational activities that reinforce our skills and dispositions. Building enabling climates also depends on authentic feedback and robust debate. Compassion, for example, is not a political stance, but rather a way of knowing others with empathy. I expect that we will continue to have vibrant differences, but approach each other with curiosity rather than stereotyping and labeling. We were also prescient in embracing diversity as a strength and launching a campus survey and preparing for various teams of students, faculty, and staff to develop specific targets for enhancement or improvement. And now, our time in history has opened up an unprecedented mandate to diversify our faculty and student body and ensure more equitable opportunities for diverse faculty, staff, and students. We've embraced the framework for reconciliation in Long Beach, and I've met with African American campus and community constituents to begin a much more focused process of acknowledging the existence and longstanding impacts of systemic racism, especially anti-Blackness, listening to accounts and experiences of racial injustice, inequity, or harm to community members, convening stakeholders to shape reform, and catalyzing action in the short, medium, and long terms. As a result of these collaborations, I will be announcing several action plans in the coming weeks. Finally, in the short term, we're creating new communication processes with our university police service to ensure transparency and accountability. We can do better, we will do better, we really must do better. It is trite to say that adversity brings out the true character of an individual or community. Trite, but by and large, accurate, I think. During this, our time in history, were we timid, fearful, indecisive, and non-strategic? I don't think so. Few people really like change, but when change was thrust upon us, for the most part, we rose to the occasion. It's likely that some of the changes associated with the pandemic, the long overdue but now accelerated pursuit of racial justice, and a financial collapse will remain with us for a very long time. So it's vital that we fashion our university to be even more excellent, resilient, student-ready, and inclusive. It's too early to tell if this adversity will make us stronger, but that's what I'm working toward. Let's all remember what we learned from telework, remote teaching, public health guidelines, horrible acts of brutality that stirred us to action, and a sea of financial health uncertainty and danger. Let's embrace our time in history by projecting what we learned into our future as the university that is a force for good at the forefront of public education in California and the world. In this sea of uncertainty about so many things, I am certain about all of you. We have a chance to have a wonderful, if unprecedented, 2020-21 academic year. I think we're smarter, more focused, and more mission-driven than ever before. I know we can be at the forefront of equity, innovation, compassion, and creativity. I know we can continue our leadership in creating student-ready learning experiences, whatever the modality of teaching. We'll be tested and we'll make mistakes. But I'd rather be with all of you right now than anywhere else in the galaxy. Go Beach.
Thank you, Jane, for that inspiring message. And that brings us to the end of this year's Convocation. Thank you to all of you who listened. Good luck with the new year, and go Beach!
On behalf of everyone here, I want to welcome you to the Beach family. During your time here, you will discover a vibrant campus that's dedicated to your success. We are a diverse and exciting community, and yet we are one beach. We look forward to your being part of it and are excited to know what we'll learn from you.
You should know that the beach is for you, and we're waiting for you with eagerness.
Whether this is your first semester with us, your last semester before you finish your degree, or you're someplace in between, we're very happy that we're going to help you take this next step in achieving your dreams. Welcome.
Degree, non-degree, English language, and certificate programs. You are all part of this global campus, represented by over 100 countries.
It is my pleasure to welcome you as the newest member of the Beach family.
The Beach is a wonderful place to be, and I look forward to your joining our community soon.
People here, they get to know you, what you need, and when you need it. And the Beach is a very creative place.
I would like to welcome you to the Beach, and I look forward to seeing you in the fall as you begin your journey towards achieving the American dream.
Welcome to the Beach.
You're on a new and exciting part of your life journey, and all of us here at the Beach are excited to be a part of it. Ahead of you are countless opportunities to explore, discover, and learn. Also ahead of you are friendships and experiences made here that will be part of your life long after you graduate.
Success is a journey, not a destination. We are so excited that you will be embarking on or continuing your college journey with us at Cal State Long Beach in the fall.
We're here to assist you with technology and help you succeed in your studies. I wish you success in the fall semester and beyond.
I look forward to welcoming all of you in fall 2020 and working along with you to accomplish your goals.
As you can see right now, there's not very many people on campus. And we probably won't be able to go to any games in the pyramid. However, we really are all excited to see you for the fall semester.
Your journey to your next goal begins here at Long Beach State. We look forward to seeing you soon. Go Beach!
We love the beach, and we know you will too.
Here at the beach, we embrace all backgrounds, so remember, there's always a place for you.
You're a very important part of this community. We just can't wait to see you this fall.
Be sure to take advantage of all that the beach has to offer.
Our student life and development advisors are here for you, and we want to support you in every way that we can.
There's no better student life than life at Long Beach State.
I am so excited to see the impact you will have at Cal State Long Beach.
Your dream starts fall 2020, so welcome to the beach.
Welcome to the beach.
Go Beach and go teach.
Congratulations. All of you have earned your spot here at Cal State Long Beach.
You belong here. Welcome to the beach.
Your experience matters.
To those who are new, welcome to the beach, and those who are returning, welcome back to your beach.
We are getting everything ready for you, and we want to give you the college experience of your dreams.
The beach is strong, and this is where you belong. Welcome to fall 2020. Go Beach.
Your dream starts now.